Hello, my beautiful friends. I am so excited to get right into this Cancer full moon happening on January 17th. It is powerful. It is magical. It is mystical. It is about transformation. It is about holding enough space for ourselves to incorporate everything we have just learned, to close out some really, really big energetic transits, and to also welcome and embody and take care of the self that we are becoming and really being there and present with our own transformational process. So this is a big one. It's a powerful one. And I always find that the Cancer full moon is one of the most important full moons of the year. It's often heralds the last full moon of the lunar year. And in this case, it does. So this is our last full moon of the lunar year. And it also is a moon that I think happens, we're a little bit into January normally when this full moon happens, not always. And it's often a time where we can incorporate and just kind of understand the year really in hindsight, not while we're in the midst of dealing with holidays and expectations and all these other associations, but in a time when maybe we have a little space to really look over everything. So I often find the Cancer full moon to be a wonderful time to take care of ourselves in our journey in this life. And of course, the moon rules Cancer. So the full moon in Cancer, it is a very inflow position for it and will help us to connect with our emotions, connect with our inner mother, and really hear our full self, which is one of my favorite things in the world. I love feeling through and noticing places where maybe I've been a little grumpy because I haven't been listening to that sad part that's a little sad about how I'm changing, or that part of me that's a little eager to change, right? So this is a really great moon to hold a little space in between these worlds that we are going through, because this moon's happening. I want to contextualize this moon happening on January 17th. It's a full moon that is happening just 2 days before the North Node moves into Taurus out of Gemini. And this is a full moon that's happening during a Venus retrograde, during a Mercury retrograde, just a few weeks after Jupiter moved into Pisces. So this full moon is also holding a space to help us incorporate what we're leaving behind and what we're about to begin. And I really love that it's happening here, right in the midst of all this shifting energy, because it's important we take moments, right, to feel through what it means for us and how we've changed, and just take a moment to process that. Now, this full moon is going to be notorious for one aspect that is very prominent during this full moon, which is that the Sun and Pluto are going to be nearly conjunct in Capricorn, opposing the full moon. And Pluto opposing a full moon, at first glance, that might feel like a pretty powerful, potent opposition. And it is powerful, potent opposition. It is one that is going to ask us to take a look around. I mean, a full moon is already there to help us incorporate and release and let go of anything that we feel ready to let go of, and also to take a survey of the land, because a full moon does illuminate the landscape even in the night and shows us the way and the pieces that are ready to be picked up. So full moons are already doing that work. Now here with Pluto opposing, this is about our relationship with transformation itself, right? How do we categorize transformation or change? Is it something that feels supportive and exciting to us, or is it something that is associated with dread or loss or grief? We're all going to have different associations with this concept of transformation or change. And this Pluto opposition to the full moon in mothering, nurturing, beautiful, loving Cancer is a really great chance to do some gentle inquiry into how we feel about our own transformative process. And to, one, I think maybe be honest with ourselves about how we've changed, let ourselves be who we are now, Like, not to feel that we need to kind of keep playing the role that we were playing a year ago because people expect it, but to really accept that maybe we want something different. And these can be subtle shifts, they can be big shifts. We're all going to be a little different. And the other part of it is, how do we want to engage with change in our lives? How do we want to engage with transformation in our lives? Do we want to just let it be something that kind of happens to us, or do we want to start to converse with it and explore it and connect with it? And that's what this opposition is really asking us to do, because Pluto is the transformational planet. This is about empowerment, power, wealth, transformation, and a lot of taboo things are often associated with Pluto. Pluto's also about death and rebirth, coming up from the underworld. It's a really, really potent energy. And when Pluto's healthily activated, we're comfortable with the fact that we are transforming. We're comfortable with the empowerment that comes with our changing shape and changing energetic signature. And that's exactly what this full moon is trying to get us in the mode to do. But it's not just about forcing ourselves to change and like leap into this new year, you know, that whole new year, new you thing that it's not very interesting to me. But I think more to nurture ourselves into change, nurture ourselves into how we're wanting to grow and be in the world. You know, so often the pain of transformation, or the pain of kind of like accepting how we've changed, is that we feel we don't deserve to change, that we're doing something bad or wrong if our desires or our dreams change, or even just the way we connect with the world. We give ourselves a lot of pain by judging that and saying we're not allowed to have it, or we're not allowed to have new desires or dreams. And this full moon is allowing us to say, you know, it's okay. Like, maybe it does make you feel a little guilty or a little sad because, you know, you can't play that same role for your extended family, or that you can't keep up that same role at work, or that you have changed the way you connect to the world. And maybe initially you will feel those emotions. But then it's also okay for you to have changed and morphed. It's also a beautiful thing that is something that is valuable, and you're allowed to want that. And I think the thing that this moon really wants us to focus on is full moon in Cancer is going to be about feeling safe in our emotions, feeling safe in just being who we are, right? That inner mothering, inner magic energy of the moon is about the person that we are inside, not the person we perform to the world, not the person that we want others to see, but just who we are. When we're just at home at the end of the day, sitting there with the feelings we have, with the needs or desires that we have. And that is really what this full moon is all about, is just kind of, we don't need to put on all those costumes. We just want to be with ourselves in this transformational moment and be at peace that it's okay to have changed. It's okay to have grown. And in so many ways, it's a very simple moon in that way. It may ask us to sit with some uncomfortable feelings or to process some things. And, you know, of course, hang out with that friend or that therapist or that support group that can be there with you. There's no requirement that says you have to go sit by yourself. If you would like support, definitely go and have it, you know. Six of Pentacles came out. I want to pull one more card to go with that. In our discussion, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Very interesting with a watery full moon like the one in Cancer to have a couple pentacles come out. So these are grounding cards, and they're kind of meditative cards. You know, Six of Pentacles is about the distribution of energy and the even circle of it. And this Six of Pentacles and this deck is always an interesting one because there's this noble guy giving money to those in need. So I kind of always like to steer away a little bit from that power dynamic. But the point being here that this is about the balance of give and receive. This is about allowing maybe parts of ourselves, maybe we've been holding back or feeling we're not allowed to express because other people aren't going to accept the new version of us. And other people aren't going to maybe want that creativity. Like, this is a time to allow that creative voice to move forward and into the world. Obviously, this is stuff that's coming from a loving place and a kind place and an incorporated place. But the Six of Pentacles is about balance. It is about allowing the flow of energy to move again rather than holding it back, rather than kind of stopping the movement the way that it wants to move through the world. The Queen of Pentacles is all about grounding. I love her. And I think this is an important one in the context of what I was saying with this full moon, that it's happening right before the north node of the moon shifts, during Mercury retrograde, during Venus retrograde, which are very much about incorporating and healing and nourishing and taking care of ourselves. We can kind of get a little floaty sometimes with all of these energies moving through. And the Queen of Pentacles is just a reminder that it's okay to just find some ways to connect with your physical so that you feel safe and you feel cared for and you feel nurtured. I would say with these energies, it would be a really great full moon. And I'm big on keeping rituals very, very simple, very something that you can incorporate very easily without feeling like it has to be this big production. But I will say this is a full moon that it would be really great to create a really nourishing cocoon or space for yourself during this full moon so that you just feel really relaxed, really cared for, really like you are safe to explore how change has affected you in a way that feels as though it's not going to be something that's overwhelming, something that just feels soft and gentle. And I think these cards too just speak to that. While Pluto is about power and transformation and these really, really big, potent energies, in the end, power and transformation are only beautiful if we feel that we are allowed to be in our own lives, and if we feel that we are at peace with ourselves and that we are moving through the world in a way that feels really true and loving and kind. That's the most powerful transformation and the most powerful power we have in this world. And so it's coming back to basics. It's coming back to getting grounded. It's coming back to knowing that it's okay that we have changed how we have changed. It's okay that we have maybe new dreams or desires, or that parts of ourselves just have washed away. And that doesn't mean we're less than, or we've been eroded into some kind of hole-filled statue that's been eroded by the sea, and that once was this perfect, beautiful 20-year-old. And now we're just parts of that, and we're pieces of that. And we've been hacked apart by all the change. I think that's so often an easy way to start thinking about change and transformation, that it's a lot of loss, because life in this world, things come and go, and we lose things, and we grieve, and we lose people, and we grieve, and it can feel like we're kind of hollowed out and a mess. But I think what this full moon is really saying is this is all a part of you, and that's a beautiful thing. You're not holes. You're not vacancies. There's something powerful that wants to be heard here during this time. So how can we do that? How can we create that safe space? I'm going to be doing an activation to create that safe space and to activate the Cancer full moon specifically. It's one of my favorite energies to work with over on my Patreon. So if you're looking for guidance and you want me to just narrate a little wonderful activation for you where you can relax and enjoy the full moon, I'd love to see you over there. We're having so much fun this month with all the changing energies. You can also find me on my Instagram, which there's only one true Sarah Vrba. And I know people have been sending me emails and messages saying, hey, there are impersonators. There are. I will leave the one true handle so that you know where to find me, and you can ignore and report all the other ones. We'll get rid of those someday. You can also find me on my website and my email. I'll leave all the ways to connect with me below. I hope you have a gorgeous full moon in Cancer, and I will see you so soon for our next chat.